Gary wasn't unmindful when receiving a call from his eldest son in Oklahoma City. There was an addition to the Wilson heritage. Scott's significant other, Lana Noacky, giving birth to Sarah Miranda Wilson on August 29, 1998. It had been some time since his last visit to Oklahoma City, having been caught up in the throes of his personal life, informing Scott he would be heading his way. Somewhat curious how his 35-year-old son would address the responsibility of being a father. This was Gary's initial visit to the couple's Northwest 21st Street residence, and meeting Tad and Shiley, Lana's 2 children from a previous marriage, for the first time. A realization life can change so unexpectedly. Before departing Oklahoma City, Gary visiting his daughter Marlo, grandchildren, Garrett, and Allison, and a cordial meeting with his ex-wife Kay before a visit to a skilled nursing facility in the southwest part of the city, to pay his respect to Kay's mother Helen. Gary, having maintained a congenial relationship through the years with his ex-mother-in-law, visiting her and Kay's grandmother Sarah before she passed away at the age of 98. Gary, not at all surprised Sarah was named after her great-great-grandmother, still cherishing the memory of this amazing lady, who literally raised Kay. Gary enjoyed listening to the elder Sarah, relating her turn-of-the-century experiences, how her family moved from Missouri to Nowata, Oklahoma by wagon, and how her father had to return to Missouri for the remaining family possessions. Visiting with the nursing home bedridden Helen, discovering she was cantankerous as always, complaining about the care, which Gary could understand as Helen was an active person when at home. She always maintained and cultivated a well-kept garden of herbs, vegetables, and also cultivated a well-kept supply of cold stag beer, her favorite. Helen, having attained 38 years of government service, serving as chief of the Audit Adjustment Branch, Finance Division, and retiring as missile item manager. Gary and Kay attended her retirement ceremony, the honor being held in the normally off-limits to the public, Tinker Air Force Base War Room. The Tinker Air Force Base commander giving the presentation, Gary very much aware it was a precedent few would ever experience. One last stop at Jerry Willis and his wife Shirley, on Southwest 25th, to say hello to his best friend and longtime band member, before directing the Buick Northwest back to Kansas. The lack of avidity during the family visit was troubling. Gary attributed this to his newfound station in life, living solitary. Departed was a sense of communion, and confronted with having to look forward to the future with anticipation, but at the same time painfully longing for the past. Finding the solidarity of bachelor life in Kiowa, Kansas not always entertaining, but there were excerptions, Gary accepting an invitation from Brad and Glenda Holdaway to join them to watch the weekly television boxing broadcast. Brad, having worked most of his life for the railroad, including the physical demanding road gang, was an avid fight fan and known to venture some distance to partake of a deserving bout. Gary, having grown up sharing an interest in boxing, he and his dad never missing televised legendary Gillette Friday night fights of the 50s. Brad, although younger, displaying knowledge of the names and records of many of the prominent boxers of that era, the two able to visit and share comments about the broadcast. Glenda, an admirable friend, whom like Gary was employed at the hospital, always providing something special, whether homemade cookies or an enterprising dessert, the weekly visits brightening Gary's life, giving a meaningful evening sense of family atmosphere.